on an reading of the teachers, principals, teacher educators, and so on, it needs to happen. And all of us, we know that India is a huge country and system of education, as we know. It is second to none as a system of education, demography as a whole. So we have surpassed 150 plus crore population, which is itself one of the most populous country in the world. And if we talk about the educational institutions we have in the country, starting from schooling to higher education, so more than 15 lakh schools are there in the country. So Odisha may be having few thousand schools and teachers, but we have a large number of schools in the country. And together, if we count the number of teachers in the country, they are not less than 98 lakh, nearly 1 crore. And this I am talking about only school teachers. Together, school and higher education, it is more than 1 crore 25 lakh. So, if we talk about the student population in our country, so alone in school education we have 26 crore students in the system. And together, school, higher education and technical education, we have more than 34 crore students in the system. And if we talk about the higher education institutions, there are 1,000 plus higher education institutions, including universities and so on. And if we talk about the teacher education institutions like the IAC, particularly IAC in Berhampur. So like that, we have more than 15,000 teacher education institutions in our country. So having equitable quality education and lifelong learning in a time-bound manner, it is not only a policy goal, it is also sustainable development goal 4 also talks about that, and we need to achieve it by 2030. And if we talk about the children in schooling system, I have already spoken that 26 crore children are alone in the school education system, but there are many children who are out of school system also, and there are many adults who are non-literate also. And if we talk about the demographic part of our adult non-literates, what adult non-literates are in India. So in that case, we need to work together, work in such a way that convergence of all the policies, programs, schemes happen in a seamless manner. So whether it is government, NGO, corporates, civil society, even volunteers, startups, we need to work together so that we achieve this goal in a time-bound manner. Particularly the topic which the national seminar is being organized, it talks about equity, it talks about diversity, and it talks about inclusiveness. And the policy did, while talking about equitable quality education and lifelong learning, it talks about education for all. So all category of learners. And all of us, we know, even if we talk about the differently abled learners, we have a substantial group of differently abled learners in our country. So therefore, keeping in view the scale in which we work in India, the NEP 2020 has endorsed the vision that we need to use technology in a big way, so that the skilling of our young learners can be done in a time-bound manner. I remember Honorable PM, while launching the Digital India campaign in 2015, he mentioned the scale we have in India can be achieved by use of technology. He says that skill, scale and speed together can be achieved if we use technology. So if I talk about the technology use and integration in teaching learning process, so I must mention that there are 5 first areas where policy talks about the integration of technology. So the first area the policy talks about is we need to use technology for teaching, learning and assessment. And if we talk about the teaching, learning and assessment, all of us we know that 2 individuals are not alike. Even the the identical twins, though they look alike, but they differ in many ways. They differ in their intelligence, that they differ in their motivation, interest, attitude, and so on. Even test also they differ in many ways. We need to use technology in a way that if I am a teacher we are talking about teachers using technology. So while using technology, so do we use concept mapping tools so that holistically and in an integrated way children learn that particular subject very well and holistically. So therefore there are many concept mapping tools like FreeMind, BubbleDust, US and so on. So where we can develop concept maps as a part of the lesson planning and use it in the classroom so that the students learn the concept holistically and we also present the concept to them holistically. If there is a science teacher or math teachers, there are hundreds of science and math labs available on the DPIASE platform. Even FED, Colorado University is having a simulation platform popularly known as FED. So students, particularly chemistry, physics, biology, those students can make use of those virtual labs and also learn. And similarly, there are large variety of digital contents developed and being disseminated on the DPIASE, digital infrastructure for knowledge sharing. We have more than 3,67,000 digital contents alone on DPIASE, which our teachers and teacher educators across the country can make use of those for teaching, learning and assessment. And also while talking about using technology for teaching, learning and assessment, so many of us must be using Kahoot and Mentimeter also, not only for developing collaborative exercises, but also quizzes and assessment questions also. So how technology can help us in doing teaching, learning and assessment in an effective manner is a $1 million question and we need to bring into that. Similarly, also the policy talks about overcoming the barrier of languages. All of us, even in Odisha itself, there are 62 plus languages spoken in the state. And we need to use technology, particularly machine learning and artificial intelligence, to develop content in multiple languages in the state and at the national level so that children feel it easy to understand in their own mother tongue and learn also using resources in their own mother tongue. Recently, Honorable Minister of Education, Sri Dharmendra Pradhanji, Dr. India, so he took an initiative to develop Indian language primers. So we have nearly 15 plus primers developed for Odisha. These are digital primers including Desia, Kui, Mundari, Ho, Santali and so on, so that the children they get help through these primers to learn that language as well. And similarly, for the first time in the history of NCERT has translated NCERT textbooks into 22 languages, Indian languages including in Odia and English, 23 languages together, so that the stakeholders can make use of those textbooks and learn that. Similar expectation is also there from all states and MPs including Odisha. There are many languages in the state. We need to use technology to develop content and make use in the classroom so that children learn better, because researchers have proved that if the child is learning in the HR or mother tongue up to grade 5 minimum, the child, nobody can stop that child in learning, because the child has a command in that particular language, and using that language child can learn multiple other languages also and different concepts as well. The third thing the policy talks about while using technology is teacher preparation at the pre-service level and teacher capacity at in-service level. And I was mentioning that the policy also talks about a time-bound training of teachers. So we need to train the people teachers in a way that when they go to the classroom for schools, they are deployed, recruited, they can make best use of the resources there. So like if there are 287, as it talks about equity and inclusiveness. So the policy did talk about addressing the concerns of Divyang children by using assistive technologies for Divyang. All of us, I think, must be aware. The Government of India has developed a document called RPWD 2016 Act, Right People with Disability 2016 Act. As per the RPWD 2016 Act, there are 21 different variety of disabled children or Divyang children studying in our schools, and we need to address their concerns. You might have seen Tare Zameen Par, even Iqbal, even HK also. I don't know whether the people teachers they might have seen. I assume nobody will miss Tare Zameen Par to see how Amir Khan through that film has addressed the concerns of autistic children in our classrooms. So, whether it is verbal autism, non-verbal autism, dyscalculia, or dysgraphia, or any kind of children. So, how using technology we can make use of that? Many times there are many children in our classroom, those who are visually challenged as well as hearing impaired also. NCERT in the recent has taken a lot of initiative. NCERT under the Ministry of Education, Government of India, with the leadership of Sri Dharmendra Pradhanji, we have digitized all the textbooks of NCERT into talking books, so audio books. Suppose you are traveling to a school or you are practice teaching and you would like to use a lesson and you know that in your class there is a visually challenged child, so you can make use of that talking book for the visually challenged child. I remember when I was studying in BJP College, Bhubaneswar, my 10 plus 2 and graduation, so I had a couple of friends who were visually challenged. They used to have a tape recorder in their hand that they used to record the lecture of our teachers, and later on going back to their hostel rooms, so they used to listen that and learn from that. So similarly, how we can make use of the digital books we have already developed by NCERT. There are 7,000 plus digital books available on Diksha. So if you find all the textbooks developed by OSEPA and Odisha SCRT and the school boards, so it is available on Diksha. So these books, some would like to take an example of air pollution in the lesson plan, and you can make use of NCERT book, Odisha board textbook, and Karnataka board textbook, West Bengal board textbook, because these textbooks are already available on Diksha. So a variety of examples can be brought in. Similarly, there could be a hearing impaired child in the classroom, and we being teachers and teacher educators we need to be sensitive towards their needs also. And NCERT has taken a lot of initiative in this regard, and we have developed thousands of Indian sign language videos, so that by seeing those signs, a hearing impaired child can learn from the textbooks and the videos, because all of us we know that teacher is not master in language or using sign language in the classroom. So therefore, the differently able children can learn very easily. So let us join together and make use of the different assistive tools available, assistive technology tools available, so that the children with special needs, they get appropriate attention in the classroom, and they have basic fundamental right to get equitable quality education, which is of comparable quality, that we will be able to provide. And also I must mention, recently NCERT has developed a mobile app named as Prasast, PRASHAT, Prasast. So it is a pre-screening disability screening tool, particularly this is for schools, school teachers and teacher educators, and the school counselors and the head teachers, and it is being done in 2 phases. So any teacher, if coming to know about the different symptoms of children of any suspected disability, so by making use of that mobile app that we have because Odisha government has announced to run Bal-Batika preschools in Odisha in the schools. So therefore, these tools to be made use to identify the children from different abilities and give them adequate attention. The last thing I would like to say, the NEP vision that NEP says that we need to use technology for educational administration. Many a time, maybe in and around the policy area in Berhampur, if you want to know that how many schools are having how many teachers, whether the teacher cost ratio is appropriate or not in Berhampur, Punjab district. So and the teachers are trained or not, how many teachers are trained, how many teachers are remaining. So now recently Government of India through the leadership of our Prime Minister, we have set up national level data center popularly known as Rashtriya Vidya Samiksha Kendra. And all the states are also similarly setting up their state education data center, state Vidya Samiksha Kendra. Odisha has already set up the state Vidya Samiksha Kendra. By or OSEPA or SCRT Bhubaneswar, so they can see that how many schools, how many teachers have come, how many students have reported, how many midday meals have cooked, and how many midday meals are also served to children, and if children are coming to school, they are learning or not, if there are differently able children, they are learning or not, and so on. So that means technology can help us a lot in bridging the digital divide and ensure that equitable quality education and lifelong learning can be achieved. I take this opportunity to thank Professor Vimal Swai. He is popularly known amongst us Vimal Bhai, Vimal Vaina. For taking initiative, because we studied together. Also, he was our senior. And his guidance always helped us in our life, and I thank him for taking the leadership and associating the teachers, teacher educators and young students in this
Thank you, Professor Behra, for your nice presentation. Professor Behra is a dynamic professor of education and he is the guiding star of ICT. So he is the joint director of CIT and NCRT New Delhi. He has contributed substantially in the field of educational technology. We are happy that he presented his views relating to role of ICT in the teaching learning process, role of teachers, how the teachers can use ICT for quality education and how ICT can be used for children with special needs. We are really thankful and we are really obliged that our younger brother, the dynamic professor, presented his views very nicely. If you have any question, you ask. Students, if you have any question, one student wants to ask one question. ICT in the teaching learning process is more important. Role of ICT in the teaching learning process. Namaskar.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. So what is the role of ICT in teaching learning process?
Professor Behra, one of my students, she wants to ask one question. What is the role of ICT in the teaching learning process? You are the joint director of the prestigious institution of India, that is CIT. Or possibly, what is the role of ICT in the teaching learning process? Please. What is the role of ICT in the teaching learning process? You want to ask a question. The role of ICT in the teaching learning process. Is it audible?
Yeah.
One of the students is continuing BEd, you want to ask a question. What is the role of ICT in the teaching learning process? What is the role of ICT in the teaching learning process?
Actually, ICT has a very crucial role. I have already mentioned mentioned that it has a very crucial role in teaching, learning and assessment, and because it can help us to capture the teaching learning process in a better manner, and there are plenty of resources, digital resources available. So those digital resources can be made use of very easily. Like I may not be getting a chance to visit Andaman Nicobar Island to see a live volcano in Andaman Nicobar Island, or to see the cellular jail and also link it to the history of freedom struggle movement because Britishers were there and they were imprisoning our freedom fighters in cellular jail in Andaman Nicobar Islands. So it is extremely difficult to take every children there and realize that how it was Kalapani, popularly known as. So if there is a virtual tour of cellular jail, students can make use of that in a very better manner in the classroom and also recreate the history there in the classroom also. And like while talking about teaching of history, many times we talk about a timeline, drawing a timeline, so that we also link it to children what year the BC and AD and which year the event was happening. Similarly, there is a tool to create a digital timeline also. So the digital timeline can be created for each lesson. And there are, I mentioned about many virtual labs and virtual tools, audio, video and interactive content that can help us in a lot, because all of us we know it is not only two child, they are not alike, and the teachers are also not alike. We find many good teachers, but there are teachers also, they substantially require support from other areas also. So therefore, technology can play a big role in bridging the teaching, learning and assessment process and capture it also, and so that data-driven decision can be taken by teachers. So technology can help in a big way.
Thank you, Professor Behera. Nice presentation.
There are many learning management and content management systems also available. I mentioned about Diksha. I mentioned about also ePathshala is a mobile app available there. And recently, artificial intelligence integrated mobile app. We have developed a mobile app called eCharli Pitara. Though it is for professional stage, not for the IAC students. So we have recently developed, and the AI integration we have done on Diksha also. So you can easily search videos and learn from them also.
Thank you very much, Professor. We are really obliged to you for your nice presentation. It was really nice to listen from you. Thank you very much. In future also we will contact you and listen from you. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. We are really obliged. Thank you. Thank you for your nice presentation. Thank you very much. Now friends, we have another national level speaker, Professor P.K. Patnaik is the Professor of Education and Head of the Department of Education in Maryland Central University. He is my research scholar. He has completed PhD in Education under my guidance from Utkal University. So now let me introduce Pradeep Suniparcha. Should I start? Pradeep, should we start? Pradeep, should we start? Hello?
Only audible, sir.
Not audible?
I think somewhere problem is there.
Hello? Subila hai be?
आगे सर सुन आगे सर
Friends, we welcome. Friends, we welcome Professor Pradipta Kumar Patnaik. He is now the head of the Department of Teacher Education in Nagaland Central University. Professor Patnaik needs no introduction. He has guided a number of PhD scholars in the field of education. At least he has written 10 books in the field of education. He has completed 6 number of national level projects is associated with IGNOU, NCRT, UGC and Ministry of Education. So he is now the head of the Department of Teacher Education and he has completed his PhD under my guidance from Utkal University. So we welcome Professor Patnaik, the dynamic scholar who is heading the Department of Teacher Education in Central University of Nagaland. So Professor Patnaik will be given time of 10 to 15 minutes on the topic promoting equity, diversity and inclusiveness under NEP 2020 opportunities and challenges. After your presentation, students will be given 5 minutes time to ask you questions. Please start, please.
नमस्कार, जय जगन्नाथ, समस्त नमस्कार. It is a proud and privilege me to be part of this national seminar on promoting equality, diversity and inclusive under NEP 2020 opportunities and challenges, organized by the Berhampur Institute of Advanced Studies in Education, Berhampur, Punjab. First and foremost, I would like to thank my Guruji, my Guru, my teacher, my mentor, Professor Marchan Swai, a great leader, educationist in the modern era, whose blessing always with me, and today where I am, it is only for my Guruji. So thank you very much to inviting me and sharing my views. I would like to take the blessing from all the respected guests of honor persons, because I may be the junior most among all. So I would like to take the blessing, because always it's a learning curve for me wherever I am. And also I would like to congratulate to all the organizing team and all the students of these institutions, scholars and all the participants all over India, those in this platform. And today it's an honor for me to share my ideas and views regarding the NEP 2020, which is already implemented in the public forum, and different challenges and other things are there. Just before me, the resource person, Professor Behera, no doubt he is a well-known educationist in this field, school education, regarding school education, it may be ICT, but he is connected with entire nation with school education. And today, I think almost all the fraternity are here. They know how much important this NEP 2020 for the entire country, as well as for the education for the students and the teachers also. So before starting these things, I would like to give some my own experience. When I completed my graduation in I think 97 98, at that time there is only some limited seats for the higher education opportunities, and it is very difficult to having all students are getting these higher education things are there. So by which we all are diverted in different places. All my friends and other things are there. It is one example. Second example, I will give you that coronavirus. Before 5 years, in 19 started. So in that coronavirus also, it is coronavirus forced us to in a closed door to carry on having a very rich culture and heritage are there. So it is one of the most important factors for all our country to connecting with these three things. First of all, I given one example that in the 90s, in our Odisha and other states also, not that much of opportunities to the students to take up the higher education in the particular states, because limited seats are there. That's why got other states. I am not criticizing any policy and other things are there which preparing by the state governments, but at that time, as per the time, it was not possible to giving the entire things access to all the students. The second things, we are coming to a stage where we can giving associate quality, everything we want to give the students. And the second thing, the coronavirus which came into existence and it stopped everything in the fraternity and stopped all the things. So this system of our education is totally closed in a doorstep. So at that time also we don't know about how to teach and how we handle the students and everything. So this situation also we have to handle, and that also we have incorporated in the policy. And the third thing, the culture root cause of any civilization, any states or everything, that culture also we have to incorporate in our policy. So these are some of the causes. We can say that we started the policy. So I will start one good quotation: by destroying any nation does not require the use of atomic bombs or the use of long-range missiles. It is only required to lowering the quality of education and allowing cheating in the examination by the students. So we can say that if any country you want to destroy any country, quality of education, if you lowering that one, it will be enough for that country to destroy. So for that one, any country want to develop anywhere, policy should be important. So we can say that educational policy refers to the collection of laws and rules that govern the operation of the education system. Another important thing we can say that it is one of the quality learning for the safety of the people and expectations and accountabilities. You can, if you will complete that one also, it is up to help you. So for that one we can say that these are some of the things are there. Even if last 5 years back, our Honorable Supreme Court also given two notable things are there. Today, though education failed for reforms of human behavior, though we are educating our increasing our literacy level, but human behavior has not changed. Human behavior has not drastically changed. The characters, whatever the society should be there, it is not up to marks. So these are some notable things are there under which this NEP 2020 started. And in the this NEP 2020 when started, it is consolidating process. You can say that starting from 2015, around 2 lakhs gram panchayat we have taken the 2000 gram panchayat, 6600 blocks, 6000 ULBs, 6 districts we have taken, and some of the studies also we have taken, which is having analysis the different policy are there. I am telling here that before 34 years we have a policy, that is 1986 started the policy, and this policy at that time only two things were incorporated. One is access and equality. Access means availability and fairness. These two things are given importance, and third things in the 1992 it is added the Right to Education Act 2009. It is added in that policy. But in that policy also, when researcher analyzes this policy, there are plenty of lacunas are there, plenty of things are there. As for our 150 crores population, and though we have plenty of students are there, schools are there, plenty of things are there, so it is not enough for that. So in order to quality education, we have to prepare such a policy that is called National Education Policy, and it was framed in Protection Policy on Education 1986. It was started, but all lacunas, all the criticisms were added here, and the policy aims to transform Indian education system up to 2040. We can say that. So in this policy, though accessibility and equality, equity, affordability and accountability we have added, because previous accessibility was there, and quality of education, though quality of education, so all standards, norms and everything were not added there. Then equality, equity and affordability also need for the society, because though we are a developing country, we need affordability and accountability also. The persons though who are responsible for this one, they should be needed for this quality of education. So we can say that this vision started with the Indian ethos. They are transforming India, how we will transform India, and how we will have vibrant knowledge society. And if you want to be so good, then we have to prepare such a global knowledge superpower. Previously, if you go to the high back year, 700 year back, we have a rooted Indian ethos are there. I am giving one example. No, we are when we are going outside the country, we are telling that we came from a place where the culture is very rich. That is called a Jagannath culture, Jai Jagannath. So at that time there is a our Bhagavan, the Jagannath, when in Anand Bazaar, we people are distributing the food and everything without caste, creed and color and everything. Why not we will do that one? That is one of the best cultures of our society. So this type of culture and ethos, what are there, values are there, we will transform to that one and we will prepare that into society. So this national education policy prepared in 4 paragraphs, post chapters, you can say that, not paragraphs. School education, higher education, other key areas of focus are making it happen. So these are school areas already, just before me one resource person, that is Professor Behra, already explained everything. So I will not taking up much time. I will go straight to the higher education part. In the higher education part, you can say that must be a knowledge creation and innovations. Whatever the higher education in a country, it should be knowledge creation should be there. And also re-energizing through multidisciplinary approach. University and colleges and undergraduate faculty and institutions should be got for autonomy. If it will be there, if college will be there, if undergraduate courses will be there, if students also will be there, the autonomy should be there. That is called multi-disciplinary university and colleges should be there. Then we have 3 types of university we have divided in this NEP 2020 properly in higher education. One is research university, teaching university and autonomous colleges. In research university, nowadays those scientists, they develop plenty of things. Still then social scientists are having a plenty of demand in the society. So research should be separately treated from the teaching. Though it is teaching and research is both simultaneously going by side, still the research universities should be separately going to and do the proper research in there for the society. The teaching universities, we have also prepared like Indian Institute of Teacher Education, Indian Institute of Teacher Education Institutions is there also. Autonomous colleges, previously that system is there, like in Odisha, autonomous colleges are there, and also IASE are also there, but we have to make their power to do that. So with these 3 universities, we should have multidisciplinary education and research universities there. We have to prepare model of public university, holistic and multidisciplinary should be there. What should be the structure of these universities? So in the NEP 2020, there is a provision that degree program 3 to 4 years duration should be there. 3 years as well as 4 years should be there. There will be a different multiple entry and multiple degree should be there. Like certificate course or diploma completing 2 years, bachelor degree and in the master degree where research competencies, preferences plenty available, so that is not needed. It is the NEP 2020 thinking that one. Then multiple entry and just I told you 50% gross enrollment ratio we need 2035. Now we have only 28 point something is there enrollment ratio in higher education. Very alarming position in the higher education. So we can say that up to 2035, 50% gross enrollment ratio will be there. We have to achieve that one. So that's why we have to give multiple entry and multiple exit. Otherwise, it is impossible to do. There will be multiple entry and exit for those who wish to leave the course in the middle. That is, there is problems or dropouts are there. So in order to reduce this dropout and other things, we have to multiple entry and exit. So there will credit bank system, credit academic bank credit course also be there transferred through this part also. Then financial autonomy will be given to 45,000 accredited college also. Accredited college will be given a financial autonomy. Then only we can say that it will be accreditations also be that ones. The NTA we are going to be established. Already we have established NTA for high quality common aptitude test as well as specialized things are there. That is provisions also for the university entrance examination things are there. In NEP 2020, National Committee for Integration of Vocational Educations, Lok Vidya, importance vocational knowledge, vocational importance skill development. The Education Ministry of Education constitute a national committee for the integration of vocational education. That also given importance, and we have to do also. So this is all about somehow the higher education. But another part of the higher education is that one that is called as teacher education. We all are related to the teacher education. It may be BEd, it may be MEd, wherever you can say that. So in this policy, it was like other professional courses. It was given importance that a course, training course should be 4 years. A new and a comprehensive national curriculum framework for teacher education, and CFP already draft policy came, and already the policy also came. And by 2030, the minimum degree of qualification for teaching will be 4 years integrated BEd. It is passed in our parliament also, and it should be there. But in between this period, these periods, we have to complete the backlogs are there. So that's why now teacher education institutions are directed to finish their backlog, and 2 years or 1 year also be there. In NEP 2020 also, we have single regulatory bodies we have prepared. National Higher Education Regulatory Council of Regulations we have prepared. National Higher Education Regulatory Council, in order to make only one regulatory body. Then we have General Education Council (GES) for standard setting. For standard setting, GES also we have prepared, and it is going to be prepared. Then Higher Education Grant Council (HEGSC) for funding. Previously, University Grant Commission is giving only the fund, but we are preparing Higher Education Grant Council, which will be for National Accreditation Council, which is for the accreditation, but we have to revise that one, and now different divisions are there. So for standard we have prepared, for regulations we have prepared our own authority, for funds we have, and accreditations also we have things are there. Then catalyzing academic research. For the research institute, for the research universities which we have prepared, the covering the goal of NRF will be to enable the culture of research. In our India, the culture of research is not everywhere, so we have to prepare that one. So that's why NRF, a National Research Foundations, will be established from the starting from the research scholarship to at the end it will be coming. Then technology use integration. Just now, my senior, just Professor Amarendra Behera, the technology man, he has analyzed almost all the technology which will be used for the school education. Higher education, I am telling you, digital mindset should be used in the higher education. Otherwise, translations and interpretations also be there. So I can say that in nutshell, this new education policy starting from the new structure of school education through multidisciplinary, multilingualism, conceptual understanding, formative assessment, multiple entry and exit position, technological integrations, the teacher education program which is important, life skills also through that one, critical thinking, and also HIES, whatever the things are there, experimental learning and activity learning, that we have to start in this NEP 2020, and it is not a single door we can say that, or where we can expecting that education should be improved. No, we have multiple gates we have opened by students will easily improve their capabilities, and India should go to the PISO group. Then only we can achieve the vision. Thank you. So any question, any suggestions? I think no.
Thank you, Professor Patnaik, for your nice presentation. It was really nice to listen to you. Thank you very much. We will contact you in future. We are really obliged for your cooperation, for nice presentation. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Very much namaskar.
ऑडियो में था उसमें कुछ असुविधा नहीं हमें दिमाग स्टार्ट दियो माइक दियो राजेंद्र दीदी Friends, very good evening. Two national level professors, they are present. presenting their papers on role of ICT. It will come from distant places. Our research scholar, our students will present later. What is the man?
सुशांत
रश्मिता पंडा मैडम देखो जो मैंने आमर अच्छा प्रेजेंटर आम मैक्सिमम 3 मिनिट दो वेरी शॉर्ट स्टार्ट कल्चरल प्रोग्राम आप टॉपिक कहे जस्ट डॉक्टर रश्मिता पंडा मैडम इज रिक्वेस्टेड टू प्रेजेंट हर पेपर मैडम इज वर्किंग एज असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर इन कलिकोट यूनिवर्सिटी प्लीज मैडम प्लीज আমার ছেলে বাইকটা দৌড়ায় বাইক নাই কর্ডলেস নাই
सेट तो रही था राजा लाइट ऐसी नहीं सेट सिस्टम नहीं सेट तो लाइट नहीं
Just 1 minute. Friends, we are starting our offline presentation. Madam Rashmita Panda will present. We have just 2 resource person to my right. Madam Kali Panda is the rapporteur of this session. And next to her, Dr. Dilip Kumar Bhutia, who is working as assistant professor in KSUD College of Teacher Education, Manila. Madam Kali Panda is working as assistant professor this particular institution. So we have a number of presenters. First we allow the persons who have come from distant places. So now I request Dr. Rashmita Panda to start her presentation. She is requested to complete the presentation within 3 minutes. Please.
Thank you, sir. Very good evening to all of you.
And those who are PPT, they must give to these persons who are there in charge of computer. Please start.
I think all of you well versed are acquainted with these things, these words. These words are not new for us. As from the civilization it was there. But in the context of education, now we are giving stress to promote these things. So in particularly I selected how we can utilize these 3 very important status, particularly in teaching learning process related to the book, curriculum and pedagogical aspect. Conclusion, I can give today's morning the meeting is a best example. Varieties of persons we gather here for a goal. Different dignitaries, they have different type of maybe speech with different type of gesture, posture, language. So that is the diversified. So today's example I am giving to only discuss. So the perception that that is also as an audience we are having maybe different, each and everyone having. So our choice and judgment, what I felt regarding to this institutional, this seminar, that may be different, way another person may be different. So inclusion means in education sector, if we are going to discuss to fulfill the desirable community life, education is the most important input. That's an educational context. Inclusion the students' needs because they are also having the most important, they have to attend the classes. That is the most important need to get all the facilities with the non-disabled students, promoting equal access to curriculum and programming. As my topic is related to curriculum, pedagogy and book, I have to conduct concept as the diversified student. Students always they diversify, but nowadays we are saying as the diversified means we are imparting more pressure or more importance to this word, because each and everyone they have different background of culture, tradition, language, maybe anything. is coming the objectives of the learners, we are going to prepare the curriculum. And to impart the curriculum, there is a need of book
Madam, please conclude.
with a
We have a
specific.
number of participants, time is very short, please conclude.
Sir, you want something I can say. Then the book is helping particularly for the learner with the different type of the concept or content that is also diversified. Again, next comes the pedagogy. Pedagogy means we are seeing the art and science of teaching, and that is also according to the need of the learner. Yes, that is the most important part of the teacher to impart or to handle the diversified classroom or diversified school. But time is less, so I am going to conclude this one. Particularly, the regular learning process, very important. The inclusiveness with equality, we have to impart equity. Thank you.
Our next presenter is Dr. Jagjasini Panigai. Madam is working at head of the Department of Education of College. Chatra for Women's College. She is also a member of Board of Education. Friends, we have with us another appropriate Rinki Nayak, Smita Smita Achal. Good evening.
Good afternoon, Mohammed, our present over here. Esteemed staff on the dais and of the dais, and my dear colleagues and my dear students. It's my pleasure to be part of the seminar, national seminar organized by DPIASE College Berhampur. The topic of national seminar is promoting equity, diversity, and inclusion under NEP 2020. Opportunity. My topic is NEP 2020 and STEM education, enhancing quality, equity, and accessibility. First of all, national education policy is a policy of the government to transform Indian education, and STEM education is a new learning approach in teaching learning process. Both are play important role for making our country as a Viksit Bharat. Next slide, please. And some introduction is there. Both the NEP 2020 and STEM education give equal importance to develop skill, four skill, that is four learning skill, digital skill, that is creativity, communication, critical thinking, and collaboration. Four are very, very important for the development of the country. And if we want to develop our country, the skill development of the students that are very, very important. Many objectives of my study is to understand the NEP 2020's vision for STEM education in India, to analyze the policy's recommendation for enhancing equity, quality, accessibility in STEM education, and basically STEM based on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And we also identify the challenges and opportunities for the stakeholder in implementing the policy. Then we not only specify our challenges, but also we find out the strategies why we can overcome it. Then NEP's vision for STEM education is first interdisciplinary learning. That is both science, arts, in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, art subject is also included. Then hands-on knowledge. Hands-on learning gives importance to the student because it is child-centered learning, and the student feels happy on this hands-on learning. Then inquiry-based learning. Importance is also given to inquiry-based learning. Problem-solving skills of the students are developed, and also give importance to innovation and research work. Then,
Madam, please conclude. We have a number of participants. Please conclude.
then industry and academic participation, that is importance is given to vocational training. Now, the number of jobs are provided to the student, and student choose according to their skill, according to their ability. Next. Then importance is given to enhancing quality, equity and accessibility. For quality enhancement, importance is given to interdisciplinary education, hands-on learning, teacher training and curriculum methods. Then quality enhancement, inclusive education is given importance, addressing disparity, no one can live behind. The person with disabled children also equal right to participate in education. Then accessibility enhancement, digital infrastructure is also there, open educational resources, anywhere, anytime. The
Madam,
student
thank
can
you.
go.
Please conclude. Please.
Yes, yes.
Please.
My final thought is National Education Policy 2020 and STEM education are crucial for making India a global knowledge superpower and achieving Viksit Bharat. NEP 2020 the STEM education, a roadmap for Viksit Bharat, that is for 2047. Making it happen, let's work together. Thank you, sir. Giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Our next presenter is Vidyarani Mandal. You are working as assistant professor in Kolkata University. ଆମ ସହିତ ଆମର ଆଉ ଜଣେ ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ ପର୍ସନ ଯୋଗଦେଇ ଡକ୍ଟର ଅସ୍ମିତା କୁମାରୀ ପାତ୍ର ସେ ୱାର୍କିଂ ଆଜ୍ ଆସିଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ପ୍ରଫେସର ଇନ୍ ଦିସ୍ ପ୍ରେଷ୍ଟିଜିୟସ୍ ଇନଷ୍ଟିଟ୍ୟୁସନ. Smita, please stick to the time. We will give you 3 minutes to present your paper. Yes, sir. Subhasri, please come to the desk. Sunita Asamos. ଆମ ସହିତ ଆଉ ଜଣେ 2 ଜଣ ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ ପର୍ସନ ଆମର ଯୋଗ ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି. ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ଶୁଭଶ୍ରୀ ମିଶ୍ର, she is working as assistant professor in teacher education political science in this prestigious institution. ଆଉ ଯାହାକୁ ଆପଣମାନେ ସକାଳ ଦେଖିଥିଲେ ଆଉ ଯିଏ କି ସେମିନାର ପାଇଁ ବହୁତ କାମ କରିଛନ୍ତି ସେ ହେଉଛି ଡକ୍ଟର ସୁରଞ୍ଜିତା ମଣି. ଆମେ ଦିନକୁ ସ୍ୱାଗତ କରୁଛି. Now it is time for Smita. Please stick to the time. We will give you 3 minutes to present your paper.
Good evening, respected dignitaries, respected Vimal sir, Nivedita ma'am, Sunita ma'am, and Baldwin sir and the resource scholar. Thank you the organizing committee for giving this opportunity. My topic is a comprehensive study of inclusive education with reference to NEP 2020.
Yes.
So inclusive education for the students. So I am starting with the condition. The student will learn together, to learn to live together. So what is the meaning of inclusive education? The inclusive education means the equitable access of education for all the children irrespective of caste, color, gender, socioeconomic status and disabilities. So the aims of NEP 2020 emphasizes that next slide. So NEP emphasizes that every citizen has the opportunity to dream, thrive and contribute for the nation based on the human rights approach for the aim to develop an inclusive society. So the fundamental principle of inclusive education follows the 6 E's and the 5 R's. So the 6 E's are the first one is equity. Next slide please. The first one is equity, then the equal access, then equal opportunity, equal dignity, then effective communication and embrace culture. Next slide. 5 R's is reach, right, responsibility, relationship and respect. So the 6 E's and the 5 R's included comes to the being inclusion. Next slide. So for the inclusive education, teachers are the most important element. So teachers should be the qualities of knowledge, skill, value, attitude and the belief. Here more example କହିବି. More experience 1 year experience ହେଇଛି. But Kolkata University ରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ମୁଁ new ମାନେ ଆସିଲି 1 month ଭିତରେ ଗୋଟେ ଦେଖିଲି ଗୋଟେ blind ପିଲାଟେ ଆସିଛି ସେଠି ପଢିବା ପାଇଁ. ତ ମୁଁ ପ୍ରଥମେ ଫାର୍ଷ୍ଟ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ରେ ମୁଁ ବହୁତ 37 month experience ପରେ ମୁଁ ଯାଇଥିଲି. But ସେ ଫାର୍ଷ୍ଟ କ୍ଲାସ୍ କୁ ନିଜକୁ ବହୁତ nervous feel କଲି because blind ପିଲାଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ମୁଁ କେମିତି ପଢିବି ନିଜକୁ ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟିସ କରୁନଥିଲି. Then ମୁଁ ଗଲି YouTube ଦେଖିଲି then different ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ପଚାରି then next class ରୁ ନିଜେ ପ୍ରିପାରେସନ୍ ନେଇକି ଆସିଲି. ସେ blind ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ମୁଁ କେମିତି ପଢି ପାଖକୁ ଯାଇ ଆମ ସ୍ପିଚଟାକୁ ଆଜି କିନ୍ତୁ ଇକ୍ୱାଲ ଦେଖିକି ଆମକୁ every lesson teaching learning practices କୁ ମାନେ before practice
Please conclude, time is very short.
So at my conclusion, I want to say that for achieving the inclusion and equity, you have to need to collaborate with each other. We need support and tolerate to other. Thank you so much.
Thank you. ଆମର ବାହାରୁ ଯୋଉ କିଏ ଆସିଛନ୍ତି ଆମ ସ୍କଲାର ଛାଡ଼ିକିରି ବିଭୁ ପ୍ଲିଜ୍ କହ ବିଭୁ କିଏ ବିଭୁ କଲ୍ୟାଣ ସାମନ୍ତରାୟ absent please you come 3 minutes.
My paper is named Beyond Colonial Frameworks Promoting Equity Through Indigenous Knowledge Systems. Now, as the time limit is of 3 minutes, I won't go deeper into what colonization is and what are the impacts of colonization. Rather, we should focus on how to eradicate the impacts, the harmful impacts that the British colony has left on the Indian education system. Let's say the miners by the Lord Macaulay and let's say Wood's Dispatch, they had this two propaganda in their head. One is they needed a mediator who knew their language, manipulate the people to rule. That's why they promoted English education to the most. And second thing, if you go and you talk to someone and try to convince or manipulate in a foreign language, that will be a hard task. But if you know their mother tongue, it will be easier for you to capture their attention. It will be easier for you to make your intention clear and rooted in their culture. And that's what happened. We all are now bound by the European structure of education that we follow blindly, and the indigenous knowledge system has been sidelined. We had Ayurveda, we had Vedic mathematics, we had a lot of scientific experiments enrooted in our indigenous knowledge system which no longer exist because we did not believe in those. We believed what the British emperor said to us, that the indigenous knowledge system is inferior, it is irrelevant and it is unscientific in nature. So to eradicate and to go parallel with the National Education Policy 2020, what we can do, we can promote multilingual education at first. The policies that would be encouraging the education in mother tongues and the regional languages. Second, incorporation of traditional knowledge and arts, that would be local history, arts, culture and indigenous crafts. And revival of indigenous knowledge system, that would require a collaborative approach from the government policies and the teachers. The teachers who will be inculcating that in their teaching curriculum, in their classroom teaching process, in the schools, in the higher education platforms. And that can be done that can be done by encouraging practical and experimental learning, such as students participating in agriculture, handicrafts or traditional ecological practices, and at last indigenous games, riddles and problem solving techniques to enhance learning in subjects like mathematics and science. So rather to wait
Please conclude. Time is up.
rather to wait for changes to happen, we, the student teachers, we can make the change, we can create the change, we can change our mindset to promote indigenous knowledge system in the curriculum, in the classroom teaching process. Thank you.
Thank you, Yagyarata. Your name, please. Ruchismita Patnaik.
Greetings everyone, esteemed dignitaries on and off the dais. I am Ruchismita Patnaik, an English postgraduate from Utkal University. I will be presenting my paper on rethinking education, inclusive pedagogy as pillar of NEP 2020.
My paper focused on India's education system, emphasizing equity, diversity, and inclusiveness, and aims to provide knowledge on inclusive pedagogy, NEP 2020, equity in education, diversity, learner sentiments that accommodate students of all backgrounds, abilities, and learning styles, fostering participation and engagement for all. It moves beyond the traditional one-size-fits-all model of teaching and promotes a learner-centric, flexible, and adaptive approach that respects the diverse needs of students. Understanding inclusive pedagogy. Inclusive pedagogy is an approach to teaching and learning that recognizes, respects, and accommodates the diverse needs of all learners. It is rooted in the idea that every student, regardless of background, status, socioeconomic status, abilities, should have equal access to equality education. Unlike traditional pedagogical methods that often cater to homogeneous group, inclusive pedagogy is adaptive, flexible, and learner-centered, ensuring that educational practices are responsive to individual differences. At its core, inclusive pedagogy prioritizes equity over equality. While equality ensures that all students receive the same resources, equity focuses on providing tailored support based on individual needs. This approach incorporates diverse learning strategies to accommodate different learning styles, including visual, auditory, kinetics, and experimental learning. Multilingual and culturally responsive technique teaching is also an essential component, especially in a Muslim. Please conclude. I have other areas to focus due to limitation of time. I am concluding my paper.
Thank you very much. बहुत सुंदर प्रेजेंटेशन दिला हमरो आउ के बाहर प्रेजेंटर अछनी जुड़े ग्रुप दिवार अछि
Inclusive pedagogy under NEP 2020 is not just an educational reform, it is a transformational movement towards equity, diversity, social justice. By ensuring active participation from policymakers, educators, parents and society, India can create an education system that truly caters the needs of all learners, fostering a more inclusive and empowered nation. Thank you so much for giving the opportunity.
Thank you. हमरा रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स प्रत्येक रिसर्च स्कॉलर में 2 मिनट समय दो तम नाटी कोई टॉपिक कहबो जस्ट सजेशन टाइम बहुत कम प्लीज प्लीज कंटिन्यू प्लीज
All dignitaries and my dear research scholars and dear students, I am Minati Das. My research seminar topic is National Education Policy NEP 2020 on equitable and inclusive education opportunity and challenges. All our many research expertise and discussed about what is the NEP 2020 and then all aspects of NEP 2020. My research seminar topic is equitable and inclusive education. All I know that what is the inclusive education. But NEP 2020 main motto is the education for all. That means inclusive NEP 2020 provide equitable access and quality education for all. But NEP 2020 is new invited transformative change towards the equitable and inclusive education system in India. That's main motto is to provide the sustainable development goal. It aims to ensure quality education and lifelong learning opportunity for all by the 2030. The policy emphasizes bridging gap in access, participation and learning outcome, particular special training center, special education zone, gender inclusion fund, and also provide the forum also, which are helpful for the assessment of the inclusive education.
प्लीज कंक्लूड प्लीज थैंक यू समय नहीं दिया हमें फुल पेपर पर बने दो है ना थैंक यू
Thank you all. Thank you for giving the opportunity.
Okay, then thank you. Certificate by.
बिंदु सर देखिए श्योर मैम 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 दे दे रहे मैम डाउनलोड होती सॉरी नेक्स्ट मैम अपन कोई दिन दूसरी आते हैं जब
Good evening, all. Good evening, all. Respected dignitaries and dear scholars and everyone present over here.
मैम मैम मैम
Century सेडी हमर STEM एजुकेशन निहाती भाबरे दरकार पड़ला बिकॉज़ इंक्लूसिविटी को आनिया पई हेले हमर प्रत्येक टी पिलां को इरेस्पेक्टिव ऑफ कास्ट क्रीड कलर रिलीजन STEM एजुकेशन रो दरकार पड़ची तो STEम एजुकेशन कोन जोड़ा केला साइंस टेक्नोलॉजी इंजीनियरिंग एंड मैथमेटिक्स से STEम एजुकेशन परवर्ती को STEम एजुकेशन भी हवा भाला बिकॉज़ आर्ट्स रो भी निहाती भाबरे दरकार पड़ला बोली एनईपी 2020 ना सजेशन थिला जोड़ा कि हमर ऑब्जेक्टिव थिला कि केमिति हम इफेक्टिवनेस रखिबा स्कीम एजुकेशन जोड़ा कि अप्रोच केमिति क्रिएटिव हे परिबा हमर इंक्लूसिव क्लासरूम रे ता सब चैलेंजेस और इंप्लीमेंटेशन रे कोन प्रॉब्लम्स रहउची एनईपी 2020 द्वारा एक रिसर्च क्वेश्चन ये आथिला कि केमिति इंक्लूसिव एनवायरनमेंट जोड़ा कि एनईपी 2020 फोकस करथिला से एनवायरनमेंट हमर केमिति क्लासरूम लर्निंग सिचुएशन रे हमने इंप्लीमेंट कर परिबा ओके हां रिव्यू किसका थिला जेमति कि हमर गैप को हमने कमेरा को चेष्टा करिबा आ आगु को हमने सपोर्ट करबा प्रिजर्वेशन और ट्रांसमिशन केमति होबा इंडिजिनियस नॉलेज रे देन 360 डिग्री ना होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट हो हां कोन चैलेंजेस रोची फर्स्ट चैलेंजेस है ना इंप्लीमेंटेशन रे हर्डल्स रोची
Madam, please conclude.
STEM एजुकेशन हमर कॉमन गोल्स को लेके अच्छी डिफरेंट लर्नर्स को लेके क्लासरूम एनवायरनमेंट रे और STEम एजुकेशन हमर ब्रिज को गैप जो ब्रिज गैप अच्छी जोरा इंडिजिनियस नॉलेज और मॉडर्न एजुकेशन को कमेबा पाई नहीं आछि तो कनेक्ट करबा अंडरस्टैंडिंग आउटसाइड ऑफ द वर्ल्ड फॉर द ऑल राउंड डेवलपमेंट ऑफ चिल्ड्रन थैंक यू
Thank you so much for a nice presentation. Next uncle, please. Epistle University.
2 minutes.
Good evening, all everyone present over here, esteemed dignitaries present on the dais, and all my research scholar classmates and all the students. My topic is about creating an inclusive environment for teaching biology in the context of NEP 2020 in India. It is a very broad topic, but I have chosen biology
it has been created for equity, diversity, inclusiveness, and also flexibility. Just like the credit points as said in the morning by a ma'am. So NEP, it's not like that कि only discrimination जहाँ पे मतलब जो discrimination हो जिसको सही लग रहा है कि NEP को हमें focus करेगा क्या करें ना हमें सबको जा करे environment माने classroom environment, college environment, room के environment में हमें inclusiveness, creativity और diversity को approach करें. And these are my objectives. Examine how NEP 2020 promotes inclusivity, identify challenges in biological education, and explore the best practices for inclusive teaching. NEP 2020? Yes. NEP 2020 ने जैसे कि multilingual education and accessibility रहेगा जी जैसे कि language barrier होगा नहीं मतलब biology is a very vast subject which is comprising of biotechnology, bioinformatics, biophysics, biochemicals. So there should not be any marginalized or boundary set up for it. It should be given and promote to all. Okay. Next, complex curriculum and conceptual barriers, student engagement issues, and assessment challenges also.
Please conclude. Thank you very much. Thank you. Next presenter, please.
Thank you. Due to some technical issues, the PPT is not. Don't worry. It's okay. Don't worry. Due to some technical issues, I'm just reading out what is contents in the paper. Esteemed dignitaries on the dais, my scholars and my students present here. My name is Maitri Padi. I'm a research scholar here, and my topic for the paper is inclusivity and equity in the national curriculum framework for school education NCFC 2023. So I directly go to the main content of the paper. First, the principles and practices for inclusive school education is documented in chapter 4 and NCFC document. If you want to go through it. Now the vision of inclusivity and equity, elimination of barriers, addressing socio-economic, linguistic and disability related barriers that hinders education. Number 2 point is multilingualism, recognizing the linguistic diversity of India and promoting mother tongue based education. Gender inclusivity, encouraging equal opportunities for boys and girls and addressing gender biases, especially education, incorporating support systems for children with disabilities. Then equity assessment, moving towards competency-based assessments to ensure fair evaluation. The key provisions for inclusivity and equity was rootedness in Indian knowledge systems by integrating Indian knowledge systems to promote an inclusive religion and cultural perspectives in curriculum. School cultural practices, it creates safe, inclusive environments where students feel respected and valued, ensuring that no child is discriminated against race, caste, gender, language or disability. like inclusive pedagogy and curriculum design, experiential learning, engaging students in hands-on and interactive learning experiences, UGL, universal design for learning, providing multiple means of engagement, representation and expression, flexible curriculum which allows customization for both teachers, policymakers and students. Then equity in assessment and examination, flexible examination system which offers multiple opportunities to take board exams to reduce stress, incorporating reverse evaluation methods using portfolios, projects and practical assessments to cater to different learning styles. Then we come to socio-economic equity and access to education, strengthening government schools with better infrastructure. Yes, ma'am. And expanding scholarship programs. Now, meeting the challenges in implementation, teacher training for educators are very good to handle diverse classroom, resource allocations, addressing disparities in funding between urban and rural schools, policy implementation, bridging the gap between policies and on-ground execution, resistance to change, overcoming socio-cultural barriers and bringing the gender and caste-based inclusivity. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Topic of my paper is inclusive pedagogies and assessment practices for foundational literacy and literacy. As you know that NEP 2020 prioritizes academic skills of children. I have highlighted some of the innovative inclusive pedagogic strategies and the challenges that are involved in it and how to address these challenges. The challenges for inclusive classroom for education include lack of infrastructure and resources, inadequate teacher training, curriculum gaps, language barriers, assessment limitations, which is a barrier for CWS and students, insufficient parental involvement, then classroom management where diverse learners are present. Some strategies are suggested to address these challenges, like internship teacher training programs should be there at pre-service and in-service teacher training level. Multimodal assessments should be conducted, portfolio assessment, competency test assessment, and gamification assessment through play and activities. Community participation and mental involvement is also required. Adapting curriculum to regional.
Dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, respected faculty members, and all the management. I am very much grateful to get the opportunity and present my paper. And my topic is the federations from learning environment for promoting diversity and inclusion. Let's start. According to NEP 2020, education is the great leveler and is the best food for achieving equality and social mobility, inclusion and equality. NEP 2020 envisions high quality education for all, transforming India into equitable and knowledge society and global superpower. The vision to create the 21st century. The primary goal to create a learning environment that ensures all the students, regardless of socioeconomic status and language, disabilities, have equal opportunities for learning environment. And then come to the what is diversity in education. The diversity provides equal access to students from variety background in education setting. And importance of diversity inclusion. Preparation of integrated wall, enhance educational experience, product, goal and innovation, positive school environment, and closing achievement gap. Next, focus on importance of inclusive learning. Equal opportunity and access, benefit for all students, and foster access and diversity, enhance social skills, and pure interaction. The role of NEP 2020 in promoting inclusive learning environment. The focus of equitable and inclusive education, disability inclusion, and diverse Please equitable learning.
Thank you, Renamala madam. Thank you. Next presentation. Good evening, respected dignitaries, all the members present here, and all the research scholars. I am Suprama Sahu, presented my research seminar topic on inclusive learning environment for promoting diversity and inclusion. So, what is inclusive education? As we know, inclusive education is a new approach towards educating the children with disabilities, in spite of all the difficulties and disabilities under the same roof. So, to achieve the goal of inclusive education, creating an inclusive learning environment is most essential. So, what is inclusive learning environment? An inclusive learning environment for promoting diversity and inclusion is a classroom where all students, regardless of their background, abilities, or identities, feel welcome, respected, and empowered to participate fully and have equal access to educational opportunities. Key elements of an inclusive learning environment are segregating differences, diverse content integration, promoting collaboration and dialogue, access to culturally relevant resources, addressing bias and stereotypes, universal design for learning. What are the needs and importance of inclusive learning environment? Those are human resource capitalization, reduce stigma, better academic performance, development of leadership skills, parental involvement, building self-esteem and self-worth, economical basis for inclusive society. Some barriers of inclusive learning environment are negative attitudes and stereotypes, physical barriers, rigid curriculum, Today my seminar topic is addressing systematic barriers, equity and in the context of NDP 2020. NDP 2020 aims to create inclusive and accessible education system that guarantees irrespective of their gender, status or disability. There are some systematic barriers in education like resource allocation and school funding and disparities between schools, lack of resources, limited access to quality education and support, lack of qualified teachers, inadequate support services. Equity and inclusion in education NDP 2020. The goal of National Education Policy 2020 is to create an equitable society through equitable education. There are few like early childhood care and education, foundational literacy and numeracy, curbing dropout rates and ensuring universal access to education at all levels, curriculum and pedagogic tools, teachers and gender inclusion and equity, inclusive education for children with disabilities, languages and cultural inclusivity, equity in access to quality education. There are few challenges in implementing education like infrastructure and resource constraints, social and
Please conclude, please.
As a conclusion part, like when the NDP 2020 offers a strong framework for creating
Thank you so much.
अच्छा now ML students please. ML students. 3 minutes ତମ ନାଇଁ କହିବ ବହୁତ କହିବ। ପିଲାମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ନ୍ୟୁ ଟ୍ରେଣ୍ଡ ମୁଁ ଦେଖୁଛି। Now the research scholars, ML students, BEd students, they are participating and presenting papers in seminar. This is a very good concept. केवल यही नुहे देखुची डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ द कंट्री बीएड पिला एमएड पिला रिसर्च पिला से पेपर प्रेजेंट करते हैं दैट पेपर्स आर बीइंग पब्लिश्ड so I congratulate all my students and colleagues who are presenting their paper. Thank you.
Good evening to everyone. Respected dignitaries,
on the dice, and my fellow men and my juniors. It is a great honor to stand before you today. I am a novelty. Speak on a subject that lies at the heart of a just and progressive society, equitable and inclusive education for all. Before we are going to discuss about equitable and inclusive education for all, we should understand the difference between equity and equality and inclusion. Equity means providing the resource as per their need to success, and equality means providing the same resource to every child. And the term inclusion means every student regardless of their abilities or background is valued, respected and empowered. So rest of the part my development program sir will be explained you briefly. Thank you.
Thank you, Rama. Principal sir, all the dignitaries on the dice, all the resource scholars, my dear friends and my juniors. So today my topic is equitable and inclusive education, learning for all. So as of now my friend discussed about what is equality, what is inclusive education, equity in the educational field. Next is inclusion in education. We have to include all the students. Now third point is universal design for learning. So we have to ensure that we have universal design for all students. Next is social justice in education. So social justice in education helps students to improve in the educational setting. If we move to the importance of equitable and inclusive education, here also I have noted 4 points. First is promoting social cohesion. We have to promote the social cohesion in the educational field to develop the inclusion. Next is reducing poverty and equality. If we focus on the inclusive education, it will foster the learning of all the students regardless of their socio-economic disability and all, and improve the equality education. Third is enhancing economic growth. So it should ensure that all the students will economically develop. Next is fulfilling human rights. As you know, education is a fundamental right. It provides us human rights and we will be aware of them. So next is the challenges. What challenges we are facing to promote the inclusive education? Okay, sir. So in conclude, I want to tell you that we have to work together for the development of inclusive education and to ensure all students' education. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Nice presentation. You will be hand please. Next.
नेक्स्ट की अच्छा है की अच्छा नेक्स्ट सुबह जा
Separa जाएगा.
ये दर्शन
Good evening everyone. I supervise for MA second year.
अल्लाह
MA second year. Now I am going to present you on a topic enhancing equity, diversity, inclusivity in biological science education through virtual and in the economic framework. First हम जाएगा virtual learn माने कौन? Virtual learn माने जो stimulate performance बा कुछ experiment करके आने की ना तो कुछ टाइम बा प्लेस में आना आराम से बॉडी बॉडी बा देखी बैठना तो कि हमें केवल कुछ virtual learn तो हमको हमें निजो घरे बसी बा कुछ प्लेस में जो प्लेस में हमको ऑनलाइन थ्रू मतलब हम सीखी पाएगा एक्सपेरिमेंट हाउ स्पेशली बायोलॉजिकल एक्सपेरिमेंट एमिनी के बायोलॉजी एक्सपेरिमेंट बहुत सारा अच्छी साइंस का एक्सपेरिमेंट लाइक डायरेक्ट लर्निंग लैब तापर चाइना रे हेची चाइना रे बहुत भाबरे हेची तमे जानो चाइना रे सारा virtually enhancing accessibility, inclusiveness and technology learning offering
Good evening everyone, I am Das, respected my teachers, assistant professor and my present over here. I will go bilingual as NLP also focuses on multilingualism. So multilingualism, जितना पूर्व our topic is innovative pedagogical practices and business is promoting equity and inclusion. जेहेतु हमें जानी चाहिए कि NLP is heavily prioritizing inclusive education. Chapter number 6 and chapter number 14 रे in school education and higher education. हमें जानी चाहिए innovative practices कौन pedagogies कर जाए परियो. Pedagogy means the teaching. The science of teaching is called as pedagogy. तो हमें केमिति वो pedagogy को implement करिबा जेमिति the syllabus of the content can be more engaging. So these are few of the next slide. Storytelling method, art-based integration, sports integration, TPCK. TPCK is the trend technological pedagogical content knowledge which we are heavily discussing now. TPCK माने technological pedagogical content knowledge. हमें content रे technology को केमिति infuse करिबा. If it is arts class, ताहले हमें केमिति 3D diagram present करिबा जेमिति कि पिला भूली जाने देखि परिबो. एज आवर रेस्पेक्टेड सर से कि हमें ज्योग्राफिकल टाइम स्केल देखि परिबा, हिस्टोरिकल टाइम टेबल देखि परिबा, साइंस रे वी कैन यूज इट. TPCK then vocational education में जहाँ हमें प्रायोरिटाइज करिबा लर्निंग बाय डूइंग विद चिल्ड्रन कैन अर्न हिज लाइवलीहुड. तार संगे संगे थियोरेटिकल नॉलेज है, थियोरेटिकल पेडागोजी, स्टोरी टेलिंग पेडागोजी, toy based learning is getting overly emphasized. Toy based learning कौन होवे if a student having learning disabilities, say यदि ASD is suffer करूची, any learning disability से suffer करूची, say when he will be practically engaged with the subjects, toy है ना खेली वाले से यदि अधिक इम्पोर्टेंट हो जाएगा, सेंटर fine motor skill और gross motor skill को develop करियो and rather than memorizing and rote memorization, he can focus on all other aspects of education. Don't start overall development in everyone, he can learn about that. Okay, thank you. This was my topic. I will sign off.
Good afternoon, everyone. Principal sir, all the teachers, I am Akashima Pedera, I am presenting on my topic that is empowering every learner to the role of
This topic is crucial because it has laid a strong vision for transforming education, but without proper infrastructure. Its implementation faces several challenges. For this presentation, I will discuss key challenges and explore possible solutions to overcome these challenges. Before diving into the challenges, let's first understand why infrastructure is key to implement NEP 2020 aims to make India's education system proper, inclusive, flexible, and technology-driven. However, many schools and colleges lack proper infrastructure, digital infrastructure, making it difficult to implement NEP 2020 goals. This presentation will explore key infrastructure challenges and strategies to overcome these barriers. Key infrastructure challenges are theoretical digital facilities. Many schools lack proper classrooms, laboratories, libraries, digital divide. There is an urban-rural gap in access to internet and digital resources, financial constraints, and human resource gap. And last one is social issues. If these issues are overcome, then NEP will be implemented successfully. Thank you.
My topic is lifelong learning for 21st century, building a cultural professional development. Building a cultural professional development. Lifelong learning is an essential for both professional and personal development. In today's time or in the 21st century, which is described by technological advancement and transforming the global environment. So, this paper will explore the idea of lifelong learning and emphasize how crucial it is for the strengthening continuous development and the ability to adapt in the quickly evolving job market of today. Professional development is essential and lifelong learning will help to boost the professional development of a person. Thank you. आओ की प्रेजेंट जाओ
Anybody?
यार पिकनिक शेयर करी किसी को क्वालिटी बताऊं ना
ये मेन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected my teachers and my fellow mates. My name is Kuatadu and my topic is to inclusive pedagogy, a framework for equitable education. Now I would like to present the introduction. Education is the basic human needs. Okay. Recommendation, conclusion and recommendation. Promotes equitable education for all students, embrace diversity and inclusive teaching strategies, creates empowering learning environments for success, supports social justice through accessible education. Thank you.
Gender determining the learning challenges. Inclusion and building reforms in education system which aims to create conducive learning environment that are responsible to all the learners' needs and to get successful educational outcomes. Thank you. My topic is promoting STEM education 2020 opportunities and challenges. As we know, our national education policy in 2020 emphasizes a shift towards a more holistic and multidisciplinary approach and to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education for all. It attempts to integrate science, technology, engineering, and mathematics that is STEM education with humanities and arts in higher education institutions. Therefore, fostering a more creative innovation, teamwork, and critical thinking skills among students. STEM is an interdisciplinary approach to integration of artificial intelligence and precision in education. My conclusion is that because this is the 21st century of technological era, this STEM education may address to lead the STEM education towards the globalization of education.
ଆମର ଆଉ ପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟ ତ ନାହାନ୍ତି।
सर ऑक्सीजन है बीएड गोपबंधु कड़ा
ଗୋପବନ୍ଧୁ
थोड़ी मैं थोड़ा सा रास्ता
Good afternoon everyone. My topic is promoting inclusion through early childhood care and education. Every potential of a child demonstrates within the childhood. So childhood is the crucial period of our life. About 85% of neural development occurs during the childhood. NAP highlights the importance of early childhood care and education to promote the inclusion in initial academic life of a student. Inclusive education is a teaching approach that treats all students equally in a classroom, regardless of their abilities, disabilities, and learning style. It aims to provide all students with equal opportunity. So we need to provide more emphasis to the early childhood care and education, which is the highlight point of NAP 2020. Thank you so much.
ପିଲାମାନେ ଟିକେ ଆମର ବହୁ ପ୍ରତୀକ୍ଷିତ ନ୍ୟାସନାଲ ସେମିନାର ସରିବାକୁ ଯାଉଛି ଫର୍ମାଲି। ଆମକୁ ଯେଉଁମାନେ ସହଯୋଗ କରିଛନ୍ତି ଆମେ ତ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ଦେଉଛୁ। ନାଁଟା ଦେବାଟା ଠିକ୍ ନୁହେଁ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ କହିବି। ତା ପୂର୍ବରୁ ଆମକୁ ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଆମର ଫ୍ୟାକଲ୍ଟି ଯିଏ ଡେପୁଟେସନ୍ ହେଇକି ଯାଇଛନ୍ତି କିଏ दिलीप बाबू महेश बाबू से आसिक आमको पूरा सहयोग कर सहयोग करने को आउ जड़े दी जन कलिग जे कि ये अनुष्ठान नहेले अनुरोध रक्षा काम छाड़ी डॉक्टर दिलीप कुमार मुखिया रंजन कुमार नायक ऑफलाइन सहयोग कर रंजन आमको ऑनलाइन पूरा सहयोग कर फेलिसिटेट करवा आमको आम फैकल्टी जो मैंने दी जन तेणु से कंट्रीब्यूशन यूनिक आमको सहयोग ऑनलाइन प्रेजेंटेशन पूरा असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर एजुकेशन इकोनॉमिक्स टीचर एजुकेशन डायनामिक जॉब में हमको सहयोग कर डायनामिक्स कला तो आम फेलिसिटेट करने
ପଳେଇଲା ଆସିଲା ଆସିଲା ଭାଇ
ଆମର ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜିଂ ସେକ୍ରେଟାରୀ ସୁରଜିତା ମ୍ୟାଡମ୍ କହୁଛି ବ୍ରିଫଲି 2 ମିନିଟ୍ କିମ୍ବା 3 ମିନିଟ୍ ଭିତରେ ସେମାନେ ତାଙ୍କର ସାରିବେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ।
Presented in today's national seminar on promoting equality, diversity and inclusiveness under opportunities and challenges. So we are very much happy to announce that we have received 64 number of papers across the objectives or themes that has been designed for this national seminar. So total 38 number of participants, they have presented their paper through online mode and 32 number of participants, they have presented their paper through offline mode. So it is a very overwhelming response because in short amount of time we have received such huge number of paper. So thank you all. This is about the paper, the total number of paper presenters who have presented paper in the today's national seminar. Thank you.
Esteemed Principal Professor Berhampur sir, my young colleague Dr. Ranjan sir, Ali Madam, Muni Madam, Dilip sir, all the faculties, Rama sir, Torun Malik sir, and all my dear students. Actually, I would give my immense thanks, particularly Professor Berhampur sir. Give a big hand for Professor sir. Actually, Professor sir is very musician. He is an emotion. He is a man having foresight. Actually, it is very difficult to organize 3 seminars in 1 year. In Bhajananagar 2 seminars, DPIASE 1 seminar, all total 3 seminars and 3 books we have published. Actually, it is history has been made in DPIASE and DPIASE in Bhajananagar. I am personally proud of this institute because I am the alumni of this institute. 2021, I am on my MPhil degree. So really, I am very pleased to see such a grand success seminar we will begin for DPIASE. Thank you so much, Professor.
We have published 2 books and day and night in 10 days we have to work around 18 hours per day. And it is the only source inspiration for all of you. And you people are lucky to have a professor, principal, and it's the way he works, his dedication, his inspiration to all is beyond imagination. I wish all of you a very best for your future and take away seminar outcomes and enter into the real things. Second thing that I share the PPT that I wanted to share because please go. Actually, you see the topic was economic growth and Viksit Bharat, pathway to develop India. So I have not discussed anything. I have shown all the things, whatever entire discussion is going on in terms of graphs only. Graphs only. I have shown in the first part that in the present year 2025, what is the position of India in comparison to developed countries? Please try to understand what is the position of India in comparison to developed countries. In second part, how we are going further. Please. You see, India's nominal GDP in comparison to other developed countries, China, USA, Germany, Japan. Still, India keeps in 5th position. My is the lighter. I have shown another in 5th. Next, you can see here upper minor and environment comparison. You see that India's position. Third, unemployment ratio, India is ahead of the developed country. Like that for the last inflation rate, GDP per capita, great inflation, state-wise here. Up to that bar diagram, that is the thing that India's position in 2025. What is India's position in compared to developed country? That because see Bharat. But here you see, second part of my presentation was that how India is going path. Same part where America will continue. You see the literacy rate, gender-wise literacy rate. So you see the gap is reducing. That means we are on that path. हमें माने से path रे पछन भी बुझिबाक चेष्टा करो. फर्स्ट पार्ट के को देखेली इंडिया पोजीशन कोन 2025 रे. सेकंड पार्ट रे सबु ग्राफ रे को देखेची केमिति India is going towards the development. केमिति विकसित राष्ट्र हो. सेकंड you can see. Trade literacy हमें बहुत बड़ा करू. Again, gap literacy gap rural economy. That gap is also reduced. That means हमें विकसित आड़े को जाऊँगी. That more tight will ऐसा करते. कोई कंट्रोल और कई बार कहते हैं कुछ आपको पहुँचने को तक ट्रैप आओ से माध्यम से देखें. चलो, thank you.
पिलामाने शुभ संध्या समस्त को ये फर्स्ट ईयर ये सेकंड ईयर ये फर्स्ट ईयर ये सेकंड ईयर और एस्टेट कॉलेज जो माने एठी बसी जंती जो माने बसी नहांती बाहर अछंती तो समस्त को धन्यवाद दोची. एटा होची लास्ट पार्ट ऑफ द प्रोग्राम. पिला माने हमर 60 पाखापाखी पेपर प्रेजेंटेशन हेछि 60 को अधिक हो. धन्यवाद कहा को देवी जानी पारुनी कारण समस्त डायरेक्टली बा इनडायरेक्टली हमको सहयोग करिसंती. प्रथमे मु धन्यवाद दउची हमर जो गेस्ट माने आसीथिले ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर ऑनरेबल रीजनल डायरेक्टर ऑफ एजुकेशन प्रिंसिपल रीजनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ एजुकेशन प्रोफेसर सुरेखा सुंदरी स्वाई प्रोफेसर केसी साहू कल्याणी साहू डॉक्टर त्रिपाठी आउ के आसीथिले नेक्स्ट डायरेक्टर प्रोफेसर केसी साहू समस्त को धन्यवाद दउची. ताकू छाड़ीकरी हमर 2 जण डिप्लॉयड स्टाफ जो माने हमर फैमिली मेंबर जो माने हम सहित सबुबेले अछंती डायनामिक यंग मेन हम सहित 24 घंटा काम करछंती. ସେମାନେ ଆମ ଆରମ୍ଭରୁ ଆମକୁ ଶେଷ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ସହଯୋଗ କରିଛନ୍ତି. डॉक्टर दिलीप कुमार दड़ई और महेश कुमार हीरो को हमें सैल्यूट करके बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आमको आउ 2 जन स्टाफ मेंबर सहयोग करछंती. डॉक्टर दिलीप कुमार फुटिया डॉक्टर रंजन कुमार ये प्रोग्राम सक्सेस पाई 2 जन मुख्य लोक जो माने हम पई काम करिसंती. अन्य मान को नाम हम पछरे कहबी. ऑर्गेनाइजिंग सेक्रेटरी डॉक्टर सुनीता सिंह और जॉइंट ऑर्गेनाइजिंग सेक्रेटरी डॉक्टर जेना ताको सैल्यूट करके बता कंट्रीब्यूशन हम राष्ट्रीय बसती काम करछंती. हम सहयोग करछंती. अक्षय अक्षय रहिसंती. पूरा सहयोग करते निजर मते लागला तांकर बागर ସେମାନେ ଆମକୁ ସହଯୋଗ କରିଛନ୍ତି. I am really thankful and would like to all of them. ଆମକୁ ଆଉ ଯୋଉ ଷ୍ଟାଫ୍ ମାନେ ଏଠି ବସିଛନ୍ତି ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ ଆମର ଦୀପକ ସାର୍ ବଡ଼ ବାବୁ ହେଡ୍ କ୍ଲର୍କ ଆମର ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ ଆମର ଦୀପକ ବାବୁଙ୍କ ପଛରେ ଯୋଉ ସାର୍ ଜଣେ ବସିଛନ୍ତି ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ ଶ୍ରୀକାନ୍ତ ବାବୁ डायनामिक हीरो एमाने समस्त हमको साहाय्य करछंती. जो माने जेस आ जो लेडीज माने तो ना कहूची वर्तमान बसिचंती देखंतु सोशल मीडिया रो एक्टिव हमर मैडम मैडम हम सहयोग केंद्र पाखरे बसिचंती. डॉक्टर अस्मिता पात्र निज पुओ बाहागर भलिया पूरा काम आमर अछंती देखो एपटे शुभश्री मिश्र मैडम पूरा ऑनलाइन सब काम से करछथि छाड़ी जो मैंने एठी नाहंती कि आपको सहयोग करते मु कहि दउची हां परिवार सार बिना सार जो मैंने आपको पक्षर देखो पूरा सहयोग करते फाइनेंशियल सहयोग सहित मिनिस्टर को पाखु पूरा दायित्व की राखी होई पूरा स्वागत करछि ताको सैल्यूट करछि दिन राति एक परिश्रम अन्य मैंने जो मैंने परिश्रम करछथि मु नाम पढ़ी दउछि आरंभ डॉक्टर सुरजिता मुनि डॉक्टर संतोष जेना सुमति सेठी मैडम हमको बहुत सहयोग करते धन्यवाद दउछि शुभश्री मिश्र गौरी शंकर हरिपाल पचारे बच्चन हमको सहयोग करते दीपक पंडा डायनामिक हीरो जे कि हमको साथ सहयोग करते रश्मिता पात्र नया खबर यंग मैन हु इज सिटिंग देयर डायनामिक हीरो आज कोर्ट में दिखे आते डॉक्टर निवेदिता कौर से हमको सहयोग करते बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद डॉक्टर भुवनेश्वरी मिश्र से डॉक्टर रामचंद्र माझी के सुंदर गीत पिला डॉक्टर सदरिंद्र स्वाई से पूरा सहयोग करते धन्यवाद सुनीता बारिक मैडम से हम पूरा सहयोग करते सैल्यूट करुँ डॉक्टर नमिता प्रधान से गाड़ी के साहाय्य कर गाड़ी पट्टनायक मैडम गाड़ी सफा सुतरा सब कर धन्यवाद पद्मावती पात्र मैडम को धन्यवाद कृष्ण राव साहब जे के हमर हेड क्लर्क हमको पूरा सहयोग करते यंग हीरो ऑफ द कॉलेज श्रीकांत भूषण बेहरा जे के हमको पूरा बुझी करते भागीरथी महापात्र साहब सैल्यूट करुणाकर साहब दिलीप साहब ये हमर स्टाफ मैंने हमें यदि पिला मन कथा कहबा मु ना नेबिनी कारण सबु पिला मोर आरंभ करी शेष पर्यंत कक्षा पिला मोर बीएड पिला एमएड पिला रिसर्च कला ब्यूटीफुल टैलेंटेड लेडी को हमको पूजा पाठटा सफा सुतरा समस्त सहयोग करते सैल्यूट करूँ एमएड पिला बीएड पिला फर्स्ट ईयर सेकंड ईयर नॉन टीचिंग स्टाफ मीडिया पर्सन्स अदर डिस्ट्रिक्ट जो मैंने करते पिला प्रकृत में पिला पाखे ऋणी से साहय करते अल्प दिन भितर आई एम रियली ओब्लाइज्ड थैंकफुल टू ऑल ऑफ देम थैंक यू वेरी मच धन्यवाद करूँ नॉन टीचिंग स्टाफ जो मैंने हमको सहयोग करते टीचिंग नॉन टीचिंग बीएड एमएड सबू पिला ना नौकरी ना नेले कम हम से जितनी परिश्रम करते program has been successful because of the contribution of the students and the staff members. समस्त को धन्यवाद दूँ थैंक यू वेरी मच जो मैंने पेपर परिचय वो आउ थे कहूँ दिस विल बी पब्लिश इन द फॉर्म ऑफ ए बुक आप लाइब्रेरी चेक करूँ वेरीफाई करके आपको आउ थे 15 दिन भीतर पठेबे से मेल में हार्ड कॉपी देदेवे आई एश्योर यू द बुक विल बी पब्लिश्ड ऑन 31st थैंक यू कल्चरल प्रोग्राम होगा जाऊँगी आमर जी ऑफिसर इंचार्ज से बहुत से अरेंज कर थैंक यू वेरी मच
फोन पड़ी जो देखो जी लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग जानी मो दर
एडा एडा आपके पेपर में
छोड़ दो एमती है धर जो ପାଣି ବୋତଲ କୋଉଠି ଅଛି? भाउज नाचे बंद कर भोट ऑफ थैंक्स तो सरला ऑफ कर खाली ड्रेस रखियो खाओ एटा कहीं सार कहले सारा एंड कर दूँ तो स्ट्रीम